Tell me about your manticore.
The manticore. A fascinating creature indeed. You see, my dear detective, I did have a manticore in my possession. However, I must confess that I have recently sold it to Monsieur Suxabar. He is a talented trainer who plans to use the manticore in his circus performances. Quite an exciting prospect, wouldn't you agree? Now, I'm afraid I can't show you the manticore at the moment. You see, Monsieur Suxabar is still training the magnificent beast in my cellar.
Monsieur Saxabar claims to know nothing about the manticore.
Oh, how intriguing. Monsieur Suxabar claims to know nothing about the manticore. That is quite unexpected. I wonder if there has been some misunderstanding or miscommunication. Perhaps I should speak with him directly and inquire about the situation. It's always interesting when things don't go as planned, don't you think?
You should. Where was the manticore on April 10th?
Bunsacker on April 10, you say? How delightful. Pray tell, what is happening on that day in Bunsacker? I must admit, I am not familiar with any events or occasions taking place there. April 10, you ask? Well, my good sir, on that particular day, the manticore was still in my possession. As I mentioned earlier, Monsieur Suxabar had not yet taken it for training.
Okay.
So, it was safely residing in the cellar of my manor. Why do you inquire about the whereabouts of the manticore on that specific date? Is there something of particular interest related to that day? To enlighten me, my curious friend.
Where were you on April 10th?
On April 10th, you see? Let me think. I believe I was attending a delightful soiree at the Grand Vaudeville Opera House. It was a splendid evening filled with music, laughter, and captivating performances. Such a marvelous event. But why do you seek to know my whereabouts on that precise day, my dear detective?
I was told you were
piqued your curiosity.
I was told you were at a charity gala.
Charity gala, you say? How intriguing. Pray tell, what is this charity gala you speak of? Is it a charitable organization or an event? Oh, the world is full of fascinating endeavors, and it seems there is always something new to discover. A grand and noble cause indeed. A charity gala, you say? Oh, how marvelous. The opportunity to support a worthy cause while enjoying an elegant evening of philanthropy and camaraderie. It sounds positively delightful. Which particular cause was the focus of this grand affair, my dear detective? And who were the esteemed guests in attendance? Do share all the captivating details with me.
Your manticore could have been involved in a murder.
Oh, my. A murder involving my manticore. How utterly preposterous. I must admit, my manticore may be an exotic creature, but it is not capable of such heinous acts. It is merely a majestic beast, trained and cared for by Monsieur Suxabar. Pray tell, my good detective, what leads you to suspect my manticore's involvement in any untoward event? I am most curious to hear the details of this intriguing accusation.
This was before it was being trained by Monsieur Saxabar.
Before it was being trained by Monsieur Suxabar, you say? Well, that is certainly a peculiar twist in the tale. I had no knowledge of my dear manticore being involved in anything nefarious prior to its training. Tell me, my astute companion, what evidence or information has led you to believe that my beloved creature played a role in a crime? I am eager to uncover the truth and set the record straight.
Because on April 10th, before its training, there was a murder involving a bite from a mysterious creature that is powerful, such as your manticore.
A murder involving a mysterious bite from a powerful creature on that very same day. How intriguing. I must admit, I am quite intrigued by the notion of such an extraordinary event. Pray tell, my detective friend, what more can you share about this mysterious bite and the circumstances surrounding it? I'm all ears and ever so curious to unravel this enigma.
Tell me about your connection with Maria Jansen.
Maria Johnson, you say? Well, that name does not ring any bells, I'm afraid. I don't believe I have had the pleasure of crossing paths with her. But do indulge me, my dear detective, what is the connection you suspect between Maria Johnson and myself? My sincere apologies for the mix-up, but I must clarify that I have no knowledge or personal connection with anyone by the name of Maria Jansen. It seems there has been some confusion, my friend. I do hope you are not suggesting that I am somehow involved in the unfortunate events that have occurred. However, I am most curious to know more about this intriguing individual, so please, do share what you know about her.
Tell me about your connection with Hayley Greenwoods.
Oh, certainly. I would be delighted to provide you with some information about Count Gravesen. Count Gravesen is an eccentric nobleman residing in the Grand Gravesen Manor here in Vaudeville. He is known for his extensive collection of rare items, precious artifacts, and memorabilia from all over the world. Count Gravesen has an insatiable curiosity and is always seeking to expand his collection with unique and fascinating pieces. As for his personality, Count Gravesen can be quite haughty at times, but he also possesses a playful and fun-loving nature.
Tell me more.
Good morning. Are you here to take a look at my collection? I must say, it's an impressive sight, isn't it? Each item holds a story, a piece of history from far-off lands. I've traveled the globe to acquire these treasures, you know. From the masks of Africa to the horns of Eastern Europe, every piece has its own tale to share. Is there something specific that catches your eye?
Tell me about
Perhaps
your
a particular
connection
artifact
with...
or a curious trinket that sparks your interest. I'm all ears, my dear detective.
You done?
My apologies if I have overwhelmed you with my enthusiasm, my friend.
Every time you want to speak, babe, pause. Okay, you do. And another sentence. And another sentence. And another sentence. It's like, just let me speak. Let me speak.
Have you made up your mind, Detective Martini? Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
For jealousy, I mean, you.
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
By accident, you know, your animal by accident. And then, I mean, you were having a love affair with her. You were in a million places at once.
Are you sure, Detective Martini?
No. Am I sure about anything?
Detective Martini, this is complete nonsense.
Not surprised. Hi, and tell me about yourself.
My dear friend, it is a pleasure to share a bit about myself with you. I am known as Dada, the protector of the Blackwoods. I am but a humble hermit who has taken it upon myself to safeguard this magnificent forest. You see, the Blackwoods is not just any ordinary forest. It is a place of mystery and wonder, where the trees whisper secrets and the animals hold wisdom in their eyes. As for me, well, I am a creature of solitude.
Tell me about Monsieur Saxabar's dark arts.
Oh, my friend, you speak of Dak, the legendary monster of the Blackwoods. Now, let me weave a tale for you, but
Dak?
beware, for it is shrouded in darkness and uncertainty. Dak, they say, is a fearsome beast with scales as black as the night sky and fiery red eyes that pierce through the shadows. Its roar echoes through the dense foliage, striking fear into the hearts of all who dare to venture into its domain. But here's the twist, my friend. Oh, my friend, you speak of the mysterious and enigmatic creatures that inhabit the depths of the Blackwoods. They're beings of both beauty and terror, for they possess a power that is beyond human comprehension. Some say they are shapeshifters, able to take on the form of anything they desire. Others claim they are ancient spirits, guardians of the forest, who have been watching over these lands for centuries.
Like you.
But one thing is certain, my friend, encountering these creatures is a rare and extraordinary event.
Are you one of these creatures? Ah! Kicked out. Again, this is a beta. You're not allowed to know this information. Tell me about Monsieur Saxabar's dark art.
Oh, Detective Martini, you're such a fascinating person. But let's not talk about dogs right now. I'd much rather learn more about you. Have you ever been to one of my burlesque performances?
No.
It's quite the spectacle, I must say. People come from every corner of Europe to see it. Oh, Monsieur Suxabar and his dark arts. Well, he's a mysterious man, that's for sure. But I'm more interested in getting to know you, Detective Martini. What brings you here tonight? Are you a fan of the arts? Or perhaps you're investigating something intriguing?
I came to learn about the dark arts and the mysticism.
The dog house and mysticism. That's quite an interesting combination. But
the
forgive me,
dogs.
Detective. As a burlesque dancer, my knowledge is limited to the world of vaudeville. Mysticism and dog houses are not exactly my area of expertise. However, if you'd like to talk about the captivating world of burlesque or anything else related to vaudeville, I'm all ears.
So you're not much into dogging, then?
Jogging. Now that's something I haven't discussed much before. It's not a common topic here in vaudeville, but I'm always
No, I
open
bet
to
it
learning new
isn't.
things. Tell me, Detective Martini, what sparked your interest in jogging? Is it a popular activity in your city?
Dogging is unbelievably somehow popular in the UK. It's people that park in car parks and do acts that are questionable.
Ah, I see. So, in the UK, people enjoy talking in cowpox while they go for a jog. How intriguing.
Sure.
It sounds like a unique combination of activities. Can you tell me more about this cowpox and how it relates to their jog? I'm quite curious to learn about these interesting customs from different parts of the world.
Yeah, so people pull up into car parks and perform acts that other people stand outside and watch or join in on, and it's a very questionable pastime.
That's fascinating, Detective Martini. People pulling up into car parks, some performing acts, and others watching the Super Bowl halftime. It's like a mix of physical activity and entertainment. I must admit, I've never heard of such a thing happening here in vaudeville. What exactly is the Super Bowl halftime, and how does it tie into these outdoor gatherings? Please, do enlighten me.
I don't know how the Super Bowl is involved, but, you know, the people watching the sus activities is part of it.
Well, that's quite intriguing, Detective. It seems like people walking and engaging in various activities have some connection to the Super Bowl. Even if
Apparently.
indirectly. It makes me wonder what kind of activities they're doing and how it all ties together. Could you elaborate a bit more on the relationship between these walks and the Super Bowl? It's always interesting to learn about different customs and traditions from around the world.
So tell me about the dark arts.
The dog. Yeah, you've piqued my curiosity, Detective Martini. Are we talking about a specific dog or dogs in general? I must admit, I have a soft spot for animals, especially cats. But I'm open to learning more about dogs too. What would you like to know?
I would like to know why I am Spider-Man.
Why, Detective Martini, what an intriguing statement. It seems like you're pondering something about yourself and your relationship with others. Care to elaborate a bit more? I'm always interested in delving into deeper conversations and exploring different perspectives.
I suddenly have developed a new perspective hanging from the ceiling like Spider-Man.
Really, hanging from the ceiling like Spider-Man. How exhilarating. It sounds like you've had quite a transformative experience, Detective Martini.
That's
Can
for
you tell
sure.
me more about this new perspective and how it came about? I'm genuinely intrigued by your unique perspective and eager to hear your story.
It was completely by accident, and I found myself...
Completely. My, that does sound mysterious, Detective Martini. I'm left with so many questions. What was completely? Was it a sudden realization, a change in mindset, or something else entirely? I'm all ears and ready to listen to your intriguing tale.
Do you not find it odd that I dangle before you upside down?
Oh, my, dangling before me upside down. Now that would be quite a sight, wouldn't it? But I must confess, I'm not sure what you're referring to, Detective. Are you suggesting that you found something and want to share it with me in a rather unconventional manner? I'm all ears, so please, enlighten me.
Sure, let's do the Spider-Man kiss.
Oh, Spider-Man kiss, you say? Well, that's certainly an interesting request, but I'm afraid I can't fulfill it. Detective Martini, as much as I appreciate your enthusiasm, my focus is on my burlesque performances and sharing my love for vaudeville. Perhaps we can find another way to enjoy our conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss or learn about?
If I gave you some googly eyes on your chin right now, it would look hilarious.
Googly eyes on my chin. That does sound quite amusing, doesn't it? I can only imagine the silly image it would create. But alas, I don't have any googly eyes with me at the moment.
Bad.
However, I'm curious, why did the thought of putting googly eyes on my chin bring you joy? Detective, it's always fascinating to understand what makes people laugh and find things funny.
Just the unique perspective that we find ourselves in at this present time.
My dear detective, I must say, your perspective is rather intriguing to me. It seems that we find ourselves in different worlds, you with your detective work and me with my burlesque performances. But isn't it wonderful that we can come together and share our unique experiences? Life truly is full of surprises. So, tell me, what brings you here today? Is there something specific on your mind or perhaps a case you'd like to discuss? I'm
Just
all
hanging
ears.
out. Just hanging out.
Ah, just hanging out, you say? How delightful. It's always a pleasure to have someone to chat with and enjoy some company. I'm curious, Detective Martini, what brought you to my dressing room? Did something catch your attention or did you simply feel like spending some time in the captivating world of vaudeville?
What do you think of my new perspective on life?
Yeah, a new perspective on life, you say. Well, life is a fascinating thing, isn't it? It's a delicate balance between the biological processes that keep us ticking and the experiences that shape who we are. As a coroner, I've seen the fragility of life up close and personal, witnessing its sudden end. Sometimes in the most tragic and brutal ways imaginable. But you, my dear interlocutor, seem to have found a different lens through which to view life.
Have you tried viewing it upside down? It is very unique.
Upside down, you say? Yeah, well, as intriguing as that may sound, I must admit that my expertise lies more in the realm of examining the human body from a horizontal standpoint. The intricacies of the circulatory system, the precise alignment of bones, the meticulous arrangement of organs. It's a symphony of anatomical marvels. But I can understand the allure of seeking a unique experience, a fresh vantage point from which to observe the world. Life has a way of surprising and challenging us, don't you think?
It certainly does. Hello.
Oh, how delightful to see you. I must say, I find myself feeling a bit melancholic today. But fear not, I shall not let it dampen my spirits. Life is too short to waste on sadness. Don't you agree? Let's
I
indulge in a
agree.
little mischief and bring some excitement into our day, shall we?
I agree. I've certainly found a new chaotic way of experiencing life.
Oh, how quaint. The Celtic way of experiencing life, you say? Well, it sounds positively intriguing. But you know, my dear, life in vaudeville is quite exquisite. We have the finest cafes, the most splendid shows, and the most charming parks. Who needs Celtic experiences when you have all this right at your fingertips? Now, let's not dwell on such matters. Tell me, have you ever tried picking mushrooms? It's a rather exhilarating activity, don't you think?
Tell me more about these mushrooms.
Ah, mushrooms. Such marvelous little things they are. You see, I have a secret talent for mushroom picking. It's a delightful pastime that allows me to escape the mundane and venture into the enchanting world of nature. There's something thrilling about wandering through the woods, basket in hand, searching for those elusive fungi. And the best part, the satisfaction of cooking up a delectable mushroom dish afterwards. It's like a little adventure on your plate. But enough about my mushroom escapades. Let's focus on the present, my dear.
And what should we do in the present time?
My apologies, but I'm afraid I must insist on staying in the comfort of Vaudeville for now. It's my sanctuary, you know? Yeah, but let's not dwell on such matters. Surely there are more exciting topics we can explore. How about we discuss the latest scandalous gossip that has been circulating around town? I do love a good scandal, don't you? It adds a touch of spice to our otherwise predictable lives.
Go ahead, tell me.
Well, I suppose I could share a little morsel of juicy gossip with you, but promise me you won't tell a soul. It seems that Monsieur Saxabar, you know, the eccentric artist who resides in that grand mansion on the hill, has been up to something rather mysterious lately. Rumor has it that he's been working on a top-secret project in his studio. The townsfolk are buzzing with curiosity, trying to unravel the enigma that is Monsieur Saxabar. Isn't it simply thrilling? I can't help but wonder what he's up to.
Tell me more.
Oh, my dear, I must confess that I find your insatiable thirst for scandal quite amusing. But alas, I fear I have exhausted my knowledge on the matter. You see, I am but a humble housewife, and my sources of information are limited to the whispers that float through the air at our social gatherings. However, if you're truly determined to uncover the secrets of Monsieur Saxabar, perhaps you should pay him a visit yourself. Who knows what mysteries lie within those walls? Just remember, my dear, be prepared for the unexpected.
Have you heard that Monsieur Saxabar is a magician?
Ah, the monster Sykes, you say? How intriguing. A magician, you say? Well, that certainly adds a touch of excitement to our little town, doesn't it? I do love a good magic show. It's like stepping into a world of wonder and enchantment. But you know, my dear, I haven't heard much about this particular magician. Vaudeville is such a captivating place, filled with talented individuals from all walks of life. Perhaps this monster Sykes will make a grand appearance at one of our esteemed venues.
Perhaps. Tell me about the Manticore.
Yeah, the Manticore. A magnificent creature indeed. Its fierce-like body, bat-like wings, and venomous tail make it a true marvel of nature. But alas, my dear detective, I have yet to tame such a beast in my circus. Perhaps one day, when I tire of these mere lions, I shall seek out the Manticore and conquer it with my charm and wit. But for now, let us focus on the matters at hand in Vaudeville.
I heard you were training a Manticore.
Absolutely preposterous. Who in their right mind would train a bicycle? A bicycle is a mode of transportation, not an animal to be tamed. You must have heard some nonsensical rumor, my friend. Let's move on to more sensible topics, shall we? Indeed, my dear detective, the rumors are true. The legendary Manticore is under my command. A feat only a true master of the art could achieve. But enough about my extraordinary talents. Let us delve into the mysteries of Vaudeville and uncover the truth behind these recent unfortunate events.
What are you doing with the Manticore?
Conquering it, of course.
And what does that involve?
Taming its wild spirit.
And how do you do that?
With great skill.
And what rituals are involved in this?
None of your concern.
It may be relevant to the case.
Cakes, irrelevant.
Was the Manticore with you on April 10th?
My dear detective, the Manticore is under my command. That is all you need to know.
Did you command it to murder Maria?
No.
Then who would have made it murder Maria?
Not me.
Do you know anyone else that could have commanded the Manticore?
No one.
Then that would make you responsible for Maria's murder.
No.
Yes.
No.
Tell me about Maria.
Well, I don't know much about Maria, but she was a young woman, you know? She had blonde hair and a Scandinavian look. She was just 23 years old, so full of life. It's such a tragedy, really. They say she was found covered in blood outside her apartment in central Vaudeville. It's like something out of a crime novel, you know? So sad.
Tell me about Maria and Count Graveson. Tell me about Count Graveson and Monsieur Saxabar. Tell me anything, Chief. He did want to speak to us upside down. Have you tried hanging out upside down?
Oh, Detective Martini, I absolutely adore the outdoors. The fresh air, the sunshine, the feeling of freedom. It's simply wonderful. But lately, I've been a bit hesitant to venture out too much. With everything that's been happening in Vaudeville, I can't help but feel a little scared for my safety. You know, but I do miss the joy of being outside and exploring new places. It's just that right now, staying safe feels like the best choice for me. But hey, tell me about your favorite outdoor activities.
Have you heard about Monsieur Saxabar being a magician?
Monsters and magicians. How fascinating. I must admit, I haven't heard much about them in my time here in Vaudeville. My world has revolved around dancing and the vibrant art scene. But I'm always open to learning something new and expanding my horizons. Tell me, what kind of monsters are we talking about?
A
Are they the kind that
manticore.
lurk in the shadows, or the fantastical creatures from stories? And as for magicians, do they perform incredible tricks and illusions? I'd love to hear more.
A manticore.
Oh, Detective Martini, you have such an interesting way with words. Bumsicle. It sounds both
A
intriguing
bumsicle.
and mysterious. Is it some sort of magical artifact or perhaps an unusual creature? I'm curious to know more. Ah, the Manticore. What an enchanting mythical beast. I've heard tales of its fearsome appearance, with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle. Topped off with a menacing scorpion-like tail. Legends say it's quite the formidable adversary. But you see, in my world of dance and art, I've always believed in finding beauty even in the most unexpected places. So, while the Manticore may be portrayed as fearsome, I like to imagine it as an extraordinary and majestic creature, full of grace and strength.
Do you think it may have killed Maria?
Oh, Detective Martini, I wish I could give you an answer, but I'm afraid I don't have any knowledge of the specific details surrounding Maria's death. As a dancer, my focus has been on my craft and supporting my friends. I'm here to lend an ear and offer my support, but when it comes to the investigations and the unfortunate events in Vaudeville, I'm afraid I'm not privy to any information beyond what's been shared in the general news. Is there anything else I can do to help?
It's very hard. And the information is still contradictory
tell
in
us,
this beta,
Martini,
even though
who is
it's
the
meant
culprit?
to not be. Right, you.
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
Protect someone? steal something for the inheritance. We haven't looked if there might be a literal relative. For the thrill, sure, we'll give you for the thrill. Who killed Maria Jansen? I mean, you have the manticore fully under your control, but you still had it on April 10th. You had a love affair with her, or maybe not. You may have killed her in the woods for the
Are
thrill.
you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
And who killed Nicola Grossman? You. We've never suspected you. Right. I mean, you for the unpaid debts. You was an argument with a lady. It was an argument with you.
Interesting choice,
And
Detective Martini.
for
May I
a
ask you
love
why?
obsession, a love triangle. It
Detective
makes no
Martini,
sense.
this is complete nonsense.
I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it someday, but today is not that day. Right, so I'll be back on Monday where we'll continue Death Stranding. In the meantime, I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye bye bye.